Hey guys, welcome to Garden Photo Friday. Now last week we didn't do a Garden Photo Friday because things got busy with work. It was a busy week and I couldn't just get out here into the garden and take some photos that I wanted to. So I went ahead and skipped last week, but we're gonna continue this week. And today I have some tomatoes that are growing. I'm gonna go ahead and prune those off because I'm gonna make a salsa tonight. So I'm gonna take some photos of that tomato before I actually take them off the vine here, and hopefully we can get some good shots of that, and then we'll move on to some stuff. Amberlyn is out here with me, so she's gonna help me pick out some things today. Hope you enjoyed this week's video. Let's get started. So I took a couple of photos of those tomatoes. I've got 3 actually that are ready to go, and I have a couple more that are growing that are green. So it's pretty exciting to have this many tomatoes right now because I did plant these kind of late. We didn't plant them early. We weren't planning on doing a lot of vegetables this year because we just had different plans of what we were doing in the garden this year. So not too many vegetables, but I'm gonna go ahead and take these off the vine real quick so you guys can actually see what they look like. All right, so I got my 3 tomatoes here. 1, 2, 3, pretty good size. I'm gonna weigh these because I need at least a pound of tomatoes for the salsa that I'm gonna make. So speaking of the salsa I'm gonna make, I'm gonna go ahead and take a photo of the habaneros I'm gonna use for the salsa because I did a photo of that on Instagram a couple days ago. A lot of people like that one, so not next, but we'll hit that one up here shortly within this video. Next, I think I'm gonna move over to the front and take a couple of photos of some bush daisies because I'm loving the way those bush daisies are looking. And I don't think I've taken a lot of yellow other than a sunflower that we did earlier this year. So I'm gonna go head over to those bush daisies because they're absolutely looking amazing. I just love that color. Okay, so the next flower we have here is a bush daisy called High Noon, and I'm absolutely loving the way it looks. I love the way it looks with some water on it. Unfortunately, we were getting a lot of rain. We haven't gotten rain in a couple of days. Well, actually we did, but it wasn't as much rain for it to just stick around. So I have a couple of bush daisies all throughout the front here. But they're just beautiful, beautiful plants. I'm gonna go ahead and take some photos of these bush daisies. I'm gonna take some from the other side of the garden as well, so I may include photos from both sides. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this portion of the video with this bush daisy here. Again, this is called High Noon Bush Daisy. It's a beautiful yellow color. Just love the way it looks. Okay, caught that one with the insect just hanging out there, so that's gonna be pretty cool. And a couple different ones that actually look very beautiful. So let's see what else we can find here. Looking at this salvia right here, this is called Plain the Blue Salvia, and it has a little bit of white on the flower there, and I'm loving the way that looks now that I'm looking at it from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take photos of that because I think it's a great color on that salvia with those little white markings on there. See what we can get out of that. And I'm noticing something weird on these salvia blooms. They have a little bit of fuzziness on there. It looks pretty cool. Never seen that before. It's crazy what you find when you actually look at these plants up close. You start to see all kinds of cool stuff on these flowers. And I see an Asian ladybug that I'm gonna take a photo of here. All right, so we got 2 for the price of 1 here. We got the bush daisy and the salvia that I think is gonna look pretty cool. I'm gonna head out somewhere else and take a look what else we can find here in the garden. All right, so one plant in particular that I have not taken a photo of is a petunia, or rather yet a Supertunia. One of the favorite Supertunias we love growing in the garden is Supertunia Bordeaux, because it has a beautiful purple lavender color with a deep dark, I don't even know how to explain it, like a fuchsia purple vein that goes deep into the throat there, and it absolutely looks beautiful. And for those of you that don't think petunias have a scent, in my opinion, and I think Angie does think so too, this Supertunia Bordeaux has a beautiful sweet scent that I absolutely love. And it's one of the few petunias that I think actually has a scent that I can actually smell very strong. But we're gonna take some photos of the Supertunia Bordeaux because it's one of those Supertunias that we've grown in our garden almost every year, except for I think last year we didn't grow any at all in our garden. But it's a beautiful, beautiful Supertunia, and it's one that we will continue to grow at least every other year, if not every year, depending on the situation and where we're living and what type of garden we have. But it's a beautiful petunia to grow in the garden. Love the colors, and I think it's gonna make a great specimen for a photo here. All right, so some pretty quick photos of this Supertunia Bordeaux. And I'm loving the way it looks. Hopefully you guys like the way it looks on camera. I try to get deep inside the throat there and the way it looks with those colors and that lavender color that absolutely pops. It's an amazing Supertunia and I love growing it. I think Amberlyn found a very, very tiny caterpillar that we're gonna try to take a photo of. You wanna bring that over here?
Yeah. Careful, it rolls off easily.
All right, so she has a very tiny caterpillar on a leaf that's telling me fall is coming. It's got that nice looking reddish color already showing up, so I'm gonna try to prop this up the best I can. Take some photos of this caterpillar. It's very tiny, very tiny. So it's kind of nestled on that leaf there. Not really any activity. It's not moving at all. I know it's alive though. We're gonna go ahead and leave it alone. But I think that's a pretty good photo just to have, just to see how small those can really get. And it's smaller than my nail, so that gives you an idea of how big that caterpillar is compared to the photos that I'm popping up on the screen there. So we're gonna move into the secret garden because I know I talked about habanero peppers, and a lot of people like that photo I took of the habanero pepper. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a photo of that, and then I have 2 more things inside the secret garden to take a photo of, and that's where we're gonna close out this video. So let's go ahead and head in there. All right, so it's kind of hard to be seen in here inside the secret garden because there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of beautiful stuff going on. But I have some habaneros growing here in a can that I was growing. I'm gonna take 3 of these guys off that are ready to use for our salsa, but I'm gonna go ahead and take some photos of these because like I said, I took a photo of this last week and it just came out beautiful, and I think I'll try to replicate that photo because I love the way it looks. Okay, so got those habaneros done. I'm gonna jump up here real quick to some meteor shower verbena and some kufia that the hummingbirds are absolutely loving. I have the hummingbird feeder right there as well, and they're loving all these plants that are just hanging out up here. It's pretty cool for them to be able to enjoy this. And so we're gonna take some macro shots of those because I think they're beautiful plants, especially that Kufia. All right, so not much of a camera angle change because we just moved up here on the step. Just to get a little bit closer to these plants here. Like I said, we have some meteor shower verbena, and we have the Kufia right here, which is the vermilion, also known as a firecracker plant or a cigar plant, whatever you want to call it. Very great plants to attract hummingbirds. They absolutely love it. I know the hummingbirds are getting ready here to migrate south, so they're still feeding off of this here. So it's a beautiful plant to take photos of, beautiful plants to have in the garden to attract pollinators, and we absolutely just love them. So let's go ahead and start off with the meteor shower verbena, and then we'll move on to the Kufia. Capturing some of that expanded bloom because very, very small, so you don't see when they're expanded and what that actually looks like. So it takes on almost like a purple, deep blue color. It looks pretty cool also. But that's pretty much it for the meteor shower verbena. Absolutely beautiful plant. Like I said, we love this plant. It attracts so many pollinators. It just works wonderful here in our garden as well. All right, and I'm just looking back to the camera at the one I just took right now. Almost looks like a little forest full of mushrooms popping up. So I think that's going to be pretty cool on camera as well. Let's move on to this Kufia and see what we can capture from that, because it has some beautiful color. And just the inside, that trumpet of it where the hummingbirds feed off of. Let's see what we can get on the inside of that as well. Alright guys, so I guess that's gonna do it for this week's video. A couple of beautiful plants to take photos of. I know I haven't been in the secret garden too often, but it's something that I was trying to stay out of because there is a lot of beautiful stuff in here, and I could be in here taking photos all day, but to get my mind off of just the secret garden and be a little bit more creative, I focus on a lot of the plants that were outside of the garden, especially the secret garden here, because like, again, you can see there's a lot of beauty going on here, and it's very easy to just capture something here that's gonna look amazing on camera. And that's what I wanted to do, is show you what's actually going on in the secret garden. And I'm glad that I did, because these are absolutely looking beautiful. Like I said, the hummingbirds are still coming around here, still eating from all this here, and they're absolutely enjoying it, and I'm enjoying sitting out here watching them. You guys, if you've seen any of those hummingbird photos on Instagram, you'll know exactly why I'm excited for those guys to be coming around and actually being able to take photos of those hummingbirds, because it's absolutely amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for the video, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out with a special photo that I took yesterday, which was Queen Elizabeth rose. In light of what has happened, that rose was actually blooming, and it was a wonderful tribute to take a photo of that, post that on Instagram. We posted on Facebook as well. But I'm gonna leave you guys with a photo of that rose so you can see how beautiful it was looking when it bloomed. So again, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's Garden Photo Friday. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Make sure to give this video a like, and we'll see you guys in the next video.